The festive season is said to be the most stressful for pets. Now, many animals are displaced and run away from home due to the distress caused by fireworks. The National Council of SPCAs in South Africa has encouraged vigilance and extra care to be taken for pets when celebrating the holidays. Here's Samanta Stelli, who's Publicity and Communications Officer at the National SPCA, and joins us now for more. Thank you so much for your time on the program this morning. So just how important is it that we keep track of festive safety tips, especially when it comes to pets?
I think it's very important. For many people, pets are a part of the family. So we want to make sure that they're being kept safe, that they're not suffering any harm or any anxiety or trauma. So I think the most important thing that we as the NSPCA like to recommend people do is just make sure that your pet's identification is up to date. So if your pet has a microchip, make sure all your details like your phone number, your address and your name is current, or consider putting a collar with a dog tag with your identification and your contact details on there. That the most important thing, if a pet does get lost or injured during the festive season, is being able to reunite them with their owners.
And just how easy or just how difficult is it to identify when a pet is under stress or trauma?
It really depends on how well you know your animal and how well you know how an animal behaves under stress. But there are a few things to look out for if you are concerned. One of them would be if your pet is showing wide eyes. If you can see the whites of their eyes, we call it whale eye. If you see your pet starting to tremble or shiver, sometimes pets will huddle up into a ball or tuck their tail underneath their body. In an extreme situation, your pet might feel the need to burrow or hide if they're afraid of noises or unfamiliar people. So it's just looking out for signs of stress as such as those.
And I want us to now delve into some of the traumas that are faced by pets during this season.
The most traumatic experience a pet can go through is, of course, fireworks. And with the festive season and especially New Year's coming up, there is a good chance that your pet will be exposed to fireworks at this time. So what we recommend people do is ideally stay at home with your pets if you're expecting fireworks to be set off in the vicinity. If you are at home, or unfortunately if you're not, the next best thing is to keep your pet indoors, ideally in a room that's dark and warm. Perhaps try and buffer any outdoor sounds by closing windows and curtains. And a great suggestion as well is to put on some relaxing, calming music just to cover any external noises.
And how do we make sure that, people don't really go over the familiar situation of animals straying during this season? Because there's reports that there are animals who actually go astray, particularly during this time, and reasons vary for that.
There are many reasons. A lot of the time people are more relaxed. There's a lot of coming and going, visitors coming to the house. Perhaps gates are being left open and animals can escape. If there are unfamiliar people or strange sounds or scary sounds such as fireworks, pets may try to escape the property to get away from that sound. So most definitely this time of year is the year that SPCAs see an influx of stray animals. So again, the most important thing is just to make sure your pet has current and updated identification on them, to make sure that if they are brought into the SPCA, they can be reunited with you.
And I want us to talk about some of the common calls that you also get as the SPCA at this time, and what are some of the worst case scenarios that you come across? So
first of all, we get a lot of calls regarding people setting off fireworks, and Unfortunately, we are unable to deal with these calls because it doesn't fall within our jurisdiction. So any illegal setting off for fireworks should be dealt with by your local SAPS or Metro Police. What we deal with specifically is dealing with any cruelty or abuse or neglect. So if you see any of that occurring during the festive season, we're the people to call. And if you see any stray animals, that your local SPCA is the go-to. So if you see a stray animal, we encourage people, if it's safe and possible to do so, to pick up those animals and take them to their local SPCA, as this is usually the first place that people will go if they're looking for their pets. Unfortunately, as I said earlier, because fireworks are so distressing to animals, we often see those animals trying to escape the sound because they're not usually sure where that sound is coming from. So we'll see animals trying to jump through glass windows, trying to scale palisade fences, trying to squeeze through tiny spots just to get away from that sound. And that's often where we see a lot of injuries. Also, because animals are frightened, if they have escaped their property, they'll be running in the road. So a lot of the time we see vehicle collisions with animals, and those kinds of injuries do occur.
And let's get a call to action now. You have community members who see and hear of animal cruelty. Where do they report this?
If you see any incidents of animal cruelty, animal abuse, or neglect, please call your local SPCA or call us at the NSPCA. If you are uncertain as to where your local SPCA is, please have a look at our website. That's www.nspca.co.za. We have a full list of all the SPCAs across the country, as well as their office number and their emergency number. All SPCAs will be on duty for any emergencies during this festive season.
All right, Samanta Stelli is Publicity and Communications Officer at the National SPCA. Thank you very much indeed for your time.